and, and, and I have one son in the gallery who is here, Luke, who is also planning to work for money. I want to also thank the staff of the House over the years. The speakers, I have the first speaker I think that I served with was Violet Nielsen. And of blessed memory, and then Carl Marshall, Michael Peart. There are others. You were one speaker, probably as was the member for South Trelawney. And we have had a varied group of persons, but I thank all of them for their service, the clerks of the House, beginning with the Venerable Edley Deans onwards. And I thank them also for their help. All of us here, and I certainly want to recognize my personal staff. Yvonne Lawrence has been with me from the very first day I went to office at Jamaica House in 1989 to this day. And Angela Amir from 1997 when I went to the Ministry of Transport and Works to this day. I want to touch an issue that I think affects others in the House. My driver, employed to the Parliament, has been with me from 1989 to this day. Richard Gordon. But the thing is, when I leave, I have the expectation of a pension paid by the government of Jamaica, all things being equal. But our parliamentary drivers don't get a pension, and it is something that needs to be remedied. So I leave it, it's important. It can't be right for people to work 30 odd years and then be at the mercy of just the goodwill of others. I'd like also to express appreciation to the People's National Party and to the numerous comrades and friends of the party, because truthfully, it is because of the loyalty and support of the party, not mentioned in the Constitution, but all of us on both sides are enabled because of that support. But I also want to speak to the friendships that have developed on both sides of the House. I find myself at a disadvantage now, and I know it's time to step, because I have to be asking my colleagues, who is that? Who is that? Who is that one over there? I know I could come more often, but when that started happening, you kind of figure, well, it's time. I know Desmond, because we go way, way back. But truthfully, and this is really where I want to stand, many friendships have been developed over the years. And I am convinced that despite the differences of political philosophy, despite the differences in temperament maybe,
the time is now 5 p.m.
We are, by and large in this House over the years, seeking the same objectives, the improvement of the lot of the Jamaican people. I can't speak to every single individual but it is. And it has been a privilege to have been a part of this house, often misunderstood by persons on the outside.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. The ungodly are not so at all. They are like a chaff which the wind driveth away. And you know the rest of it. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show, live on Caribbean Radio HD. As we come to you from the studios of Portland Spice TV, straight out of Port Antonio, Portland, Jamaica, West Indies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I invite those of you who have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, Portland Spice TV at YouTube. That's my YouTube channel. And I'm asking you to subscribe, click up the notification bell that whenever we are on, you are on. It is Tuesday, the 20th of May, and the sectorial debate in the Jamaican House of Representatives is taking place. Earlier we heard from Minister of Transportation, Energy and Technology, Darrell Vaz. Your battery is running low? So we heard from Mr. Vaz. Hold on. Yes. So, and he's also the member of parliament for Western Portland. But very importantly, former health minister, former transportation minister, former minister of national security, former finance minister, former leader of opposition, Peter David Phillips, is making his final presentation in a sectorial debate, as he will not be seeking re-election to the House of Representatives. So when you just join us on Caribbean Radio, that was what you were hearing. But we want to start off this evening with a very troubling matter. Brother Bailey, Sister Marcia, Empress, all of the people in the chat room, Norma on Caribbean Radio, and another chat room, Light Pang, Nadia, yeah, Auntie Elaine, Talk Truth, Kenneth Bailey, everybody in the chat rooms. There have been an issue in Jamaica brought first by Senator Lambert Brown of a surgical drill that was bought for the Bustamante Children's Hospital. And there have been argument that the drill cost $30 million. And some people were saying it was too expensive. A press conference was held today by the opposition spokesman on health, medical doctor Alfred Dawes. And I tell you something, the press conference was shocking. And I am going to play for you now from the press conference. Dr. Alfred Dawes.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Alfred Dawes, the opposition spokesperson on health and wellness. Over the past year or so, my colleagues and I have been shedding light on some of the issues affecting the healthcare sector. Specifically, we have placed an emphasis on transparency, accountability, and voiced concerns about the continued misuse of the public's funds in the Ministry of Health. Our concerns stem from issues that you have experienced and voiced to us. Our concerns come from stories that have been played out in the media in recent times. Most recently, and specifically to the Bustamante Hospital for Children, we have seen where we had a baby die waiting on a ventilator. We have seen a visiting team who had volunteered and brought essential equipment come to the Bustamante Hospital for Children to perform scoliosis surgeries on children who are suffering from a debilitating disease, living in severe pain, where their only hope of affording such quality surgery would have been as a result of these missions. We have seen one such mission canceled because of the dilapidated state of the operating theaters at the Bustamante Hospital, where the AC units were non-functional. This morning, the father of Alexandriana Jones asked me to keep her story alive, where this young girl died after undergoing complex surgery at the Bustamante Hospital. The team was an excellent team. They did all they could do with the limited resources they had, but they had no operating microscope to assist them with such a complex surgery. And when complications developed, Alexandriana had to be put on an ambulance and sent to the Kingston Public Hospital, losing valuable hours to get a CAT scan done to see what was the next course of action that was necessary to save her life. This because there is no CAT scan at the leading children's hospital in the Caribbean, and has been the case for many years, known by those who could have made a difference. We have heard stories about the ENT teams not having adequate equipment, and thus surgeries are being postponed. We have heard stories about mothers, fathers having to sleep in chairs because the overnight facility that was supposed to be built with the Shaggy Foundation funds has not been completed. We hear about the long waiting times of waiting in chairs in the emergency department and of overcrowded clinics. And this is why we have continued our advocacy for improvement in healthcare. We are going to be focusing specifically on one piece of evidence that we have found corroborates what we firmly believe to be a web of corruption within the Ministry of Health. And in this instance, it concerns a neurosurgical drill. Attention was first brought by Senator Lambert Brown in January, where he questioned the expenditure of $31,500,000 on a single neurosurgical drill. The Southeast Regional Health Authority denied that the price was inflated and that this was a reasonable price for a quality drill, the first of its kind in Jamaica and possibly the only type in the Caribbean. I reiterated that call for the justification of that expenditure because all research pointed that this drill should have been procured or could have been procured at a much lower price. Following a meeting with the SARA chairman, I had to call for his resignation based on his stubborn defense of what was a flawed procurement process. I saw the procurement documents. I saw where the process was hijacked, where an internal source determined that a fair price for that drill was 32 million Jamaican dollars. So purchasing it for 31,500,000 was a discount to taxpayers. The minister, returning from his overseas trip, continued a strident defense, putting out several videos that are still available to be viewed online, in some instances ridiculing and mocking me and my accusations. But we do have evidence that this drill is only the tip of the iceberg of corruption within the Ministry of Health. In November last year, just before the drill was purchased by Sarah for the Bustamante Hospital for Children for $31,500,000, two drills of the same type, EM200, same manufacturer, same specifications, same model numbers, were brought in by one company, the company that won the bid to supply that $31 million drill. On their customs declaration forms, accompanied by an invoice from the manufacturer, we see that it was not a new drill. They were refurbished drills with a purchase price of $1,600 US. That was the declared value, and they paid $90,000 in customs fees, bringing the grand total landed the same drill, model number, specifications, landed in Jamaica, cost nowhere close to $31 million, but 250,000 Jamaican dollars. We have the serial numbers for both drills. The question today, we have two questions. The company that brought in these drills won the bid to supply the exact same drills to Sarah. It cost the company $250,000 to have that drill in Jamaica. Is the $31 million drill at the Bustamante Hospital for Children one of these drills that were imported in November last year? Yes or no? If it is a case where the drill that was purchased from the same company just after these two drills were imported is a different drill, what was the justification for paying $31 million for a drill that could have been bought and landed in Jamaica for less than 300,000 Jamaican dollars? Is that a fair price? Understanding that the same company that won the bid could have brought in a drill for 1,000 times less. This is not about politics. This is about the blatant misuse of taxpayer dollars. The question is further compounded. What could have possessed someone to spend $31 million on a drill when they could have bought 100 of those same drills? When they could have bought a CT scan so babies and children would not lose valuable time and increase their chances of complications and dying if they did a CT scan at Bustamante Hospital rather than going to Kingston Public Hospital to have a scan done. Why spend $31 million on a $300,000 drill when you could have purchased several ventilators so less babies would have been dying? $31 million versus fixing and maintaining your operating theaters so life-saving surgeries can go on uninterrupted, so that missions coming to Jamaica to volunteer their services can help those children suffering in pain. Why? And that is where I'm going to leave the questions. Why do it? I'm not going to call for anyone's resignation today. Let the chips fall where they may. There is obvious corruption, blatant mismanagement taking place in the Ministry of Health. I have one more thing to add. The company, and this is further evidence of what looks bad. The company in question is owned by JLP Member of Parliament, Donovan Williams, the MP for Central Kingston, a man whose name may be familiar not just as MP, but as a company secretary linked to Estate Bridge, a company in turn linked to Prime Minister Andrew Holness that was under investigation by the Integrity Commission. Is Mr. Williams able to to answer these questions? Is Mr. Williams able to say his hands are clean? If that is the case, then he should present himself. There should be a release answering these questions. And as I said, the chips must fall where they may. But we do know that there is a web of corruption, and it is paid for in the suffering and death of children and babies. If this is not evil, I do not know what is. I don't know who in the government, from the top down, has a moral authority to call out and weed out those who are involved in this blatant theft and rape of an industry, of a system so vital to us as a health sector. We're asking Jamaicans to be outraged. We're asking you not to let this die, because if you do, the blood of innocence will be on all our hands. I have two files, two dossiers, one addressed to the Auditor General, Mrs. Pamela Monroe Ellis, with the findings of our investigation. The other is addressed to Mrs. Justice Reed, retired Justice Carol Lawrence Beswick, the chairman of the Integrity Commission. We're asking for a fulsome investigation into the procurement process of this neurosurgical drill, and that we see a definitive message being sent and justice being served for all those children, babies, and their parents who have suffered because they have lacked equipment and services, while money has been sucked out of the Ministry of Health, out of Bustamante Hospital, out of Sarah, by what I had referred to before as a rapacious form of capitalism enabled by corruption. Thank you. Aluta continua.
Thank you, Dr. Dawes, for that very informative presentation. We are now opening the floor for questions. If you have a question, please state your name, the media house you represent, and proceed with your question. If you're online and you have a question, you can write it, we'll read it for you, or you can indicate by raising your hand. We'll open the mic and you can proceed, your name, the media house, and your question.
Thank you. Kelisha Williams, Television Jamaica. Dr. Dawes, can you say, since the research, the opposition completed the research, whether or not you've sought any clarity from the government, or is this the first time? And you mentioned initially the two drills. I know you're also seeking clarity as well in terms of whether or not, can you say it is similar to the one that was used, that was purchased for $31 million, or you're also seeking, I want you to be clear on that, or you want clarity?
We're very clear that the two drills were EM200 drills. It's the same type of drill, same manufacturer, same model number. It is the same drill. And if they do not answer the question and say it is a different drill from the two that were imported, just before they purchased the $31 million drill, then we have to ask why buy another drill of the same type? And when this drill came in, how did this drill, I dare I say mysterious drill, come into Jamaica if there's no record of it at customs?
Okay, thank you.
There's a question here for you online, Dr. Dawes. This person is asking, Dr. Dawes, is the opposition making much to do about nothing over a simple drill?
If much to do about nothing is one example of a $300,000 item being bought by the Ministry of Health for $31 million, then by that definition, we should never complain about corruption.
There's another question. Dr. Dawes, what proof do you have that Donovan Williams is in fact affiliated with the company in question?
A quick search at the company's office will show that the company in question has 50,000 issued shares, 50,000 unissued. 40,000 of those shares are held by MP Donovan Williams.
Okay, there's another question here. You said the unit was refurbished. Can refurbished units have warranties?
That is another question that needs to be answered, but we need to know if it is the same drill, because if you have a refurbished drill with a $4 million service contract, then that itself warrants further investigation. But we first need Sarah to confirm or deny that the $31 million drill purchased was one of the two imported by the company that won the winning bid and landed those two drills in Jamaica at a cost of $250,000 each.
Dr. Dawes, Andre Stevens, is there any history of the two imported drills being currently used in the public healthcare system?
We are waiting on confirmation whether or not the purchased $31 million drill is in fact one of those two imported refurbished drills. Okay. We're not, that is the clarity which we are seeking today. Did they pay $31 million for a $250,000 drill?
Sashana Small, Jamaica Gleaner is asking, can you share the name of the company that brought the drills into the island?
The company's Medical Technologies Limited.
Thank you, Dr. Dawes. That ends our press conference for this morning. Continue to follow the PNP on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at jamaicapnp.com. Enjoy the rest of your day.
So there you have it.
Right.
There you have it. The press conference was held today. And we want to thank Dr. Dawes for all those information. But as I told you earlier, this matter was first brought to the public's fear by Senator Lambert Brown. And we have the senator on the line. Senator Brown, good evening.
Hi, Shaka, how are you doing?
I am doing well, even though very concerned about the things that are happening in my country.
We have to be concerned. Some dangerous things are happening. Signs of great corruption and a short changing of not just the Jamaican people, but our children. Our sick children in hospitals are being shortchanged.
Are we seeing a sign of greed as well?
It is greed, and it is greed that leads to the corruption. Because in February or thereabout, I got up in the Senate and I said in the Senate that I had information that the government had purchased a drill for $27 million, I said then. Mm-hmm. That could have been purchased for significantly less. I did investigation and I discovered that a drill that you could get for $10,000 US, $14,000 US we were paying 170,000 US. That's what the equivalent is
30
for
million
that drill.
Jamaican.
And we could buy plenty drill
No.
for the price of that. But Dr. Dawes has gone further and has gone and got information out of customs.
Yes.
Which
yes.
show that people brought in drills, similar drills, at around the same time for very cheap.
1,600 US.
That's the figure because these
$90,000 to clear it.
As I said, Shaka, these drills are not. It's not a special made drills. These are drills that are there on the shelf, and you can go and get it. The MR8, Midas, whatever, Midas Rex, MR8, or whatever it is. It's there, and people are selling them second hand.
But Dr. Dawes say it's a refurbished drill?
Quite possible. And so Dr. Dawes has said, show me the numbers. But I tell you more than that, Shaka.
Yes.
I submitted last week to the Senate a set of questions about the drill.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yes.
Talk to me.
And when I submitted those, and I sent it to the Parliament from Wednesday. That's the normal thing you do when you're submitting questions. When I turned up Friday, I got a message that the President of the Senate wanted to see me.
Mm-hmm.
He said to me, I'm not going to allow you to table the questions today because I'm doing some research to see if the things you are asking the minister to answer, whether those things are in the public domain. That is to say, you should already know it and you don't need to ask the minister. And that told me right then and there, something was afoot because I realized the power of those questions was going to expose another set of corruption.
But hold on, Lamy. Is that the business of the President of the Senate?
The standing order requires that he must approve any question you said. And it says, if the answer, suppose I want to know, what is the phone number for your station?
Right.
That's in the public.
So you don't need to ask
that.
that.
Answer that.
Okay.
I could just go look in the telephone directory and find it.
Understood.
But if I ask, as I did, what is the model of the drill?
Yes.
And which year the drill was made? That's not anywhere in public.
Right.
I asked, did the Sarah check out the indicative price of the drill?
Mm-hmm.
And if they did, what is the source of the indicative price? Because if I'm going to buy, let's say, a pound of jerk pork, I must have an idea as to what is the cost of a pound of jerk pork.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to send somebody from Kingston to Boston to buy jerk pork, right?
You must have an idea how much to give them.
How much money to give them.
Yes. Yes.
I must know how much they're going to charge me by first finding out how much a pound of jerk pork in Boston. So you can't just say you put out a tender for a drill and you don't know what is called the indicative price for that drill. So one man come and tell you, I'm going to charge you 50 million. And next month, I'm going to charge you 14 million. Next month, I'm going to charge you 27. And you just pick out the 27 million man.
Mm.
Who we now know that when the company was registered with the name of a current MP.
But how that
look? Was an MP then. But is now an MP whose name was in it.
So did that MP declare that he's in that kind of business, NC might be getting government contract? Was that declared?
Good question. I don't know. But I have seen, since to be fair to him, I have seen a statement saying he was only holding those shares as a trustee. So the question is.
So him come out already and put out that statement since today?
Yes, I just see Dr. Daw share that somewhere else. That he's saying he was a trustee.
Oh.
So the question is, trustee for who?
No, but trustee and he's holding 40,000 shares out of 50?
Out of 100,000, but 50 was issued.
Right, 50 was issued.
So the question is,
and him have 40 out of the 50 were issued.
Who is the real owner?
Dr. Dawes did mention something about Estate Bridge, a company which is
That's
owned
another company for which the same MP and lawyer has a connection. I'm not making any allegation that
none at all.
Estate Bridge.
None at all.
All I'm saying, what he needs to tell us, and the company office need to be updated, who is the beneficial owner?
But
who
Lammy,
own those shares?
But Lammy,
yeah.
If it can't be proven that one of those two drills that Dr. Dawes speak about, because the other thing that Dr. Dawes is saying, there's nothing in custom for a third drill. Two drills came in and the price is 1,600, 90,000 to clear it. And he said that custom don't have not more for a third drill. And the question is now being asked, those two drill, is it one of those two drill that is at the Bustamante Hospital?
And that is why my question, one of the first questions I asked out of the 11 that was not allowed to be tabled Friday gone, because the president said I'm doing some research, which is strange. But if you're smart, you know why I'm doing the research, right?
Oh, yes.
It's to block the questions from coming in Friday gone. So, what we're looking at here, I've asked, what is the model and the year of the drill?
Yes.
And of course, that will lead us to the serial number.
Hallelujah, thank you. Right there, so the serial number of the drill that is at Bustamante Hospital.
Yeah, that would lead us to the serial number.
Talk to me.
Right? So, when I first call out this thing, them say, oh, it's a specialized drill and and custom made and... But now we know differently.
But we also heard that this drill is the only one of its kind on the island. In fact, the only one of its kind in the Caribbean.
Well, that is bulls. That is bulls. That is bulls. That is balaki. That is balaki. Let me tell you, there are many neurosurgeons in Jamaica who operate privately, right?
Yes.
One such, I'm told, with a strange surname, well, not a strange, a surname that is common in government, bought a drill for far less than what the government paid. And that person has come out to say, I buy a drill.
Oh?
Yeah, so it's not no one in the island. There are neurosurgeons who I know who operate in the region.
But
use those drills.
You know, Lambert, it is not surprising when these people talk about one in the island, because I heard an MP said that a baby incubator is at the Port Antonio Hospital, the only one in this side of the hemisphere. So them love talk about the
only... just lie, but talking about that, a friend of mine, grandson, died this week.
My friend too. Is my friend too, my bosom friend.
Because of a lack of a
ventilator.
Incubator.
Ventilator.
A ventilator, not an incubator. A ventilator.
A ventilator.
Right? So I am aware that our health sector is not chronic. Another friend of mine, father sick. Oh, heart attack.
Yeah.
Went to the hospital 5 o'clock in the morning. Get you at 9:30 the night with a heart attack.
From 5 o'clock in the morning.
To be admitted. No bed. No bed. Fred BR2 is sitting in a chair. And the hospital said, well, you're not formally admitted, so we can't feed you.
Lambert, Senator Brown, there's somebody in one of my chat room because I am on Caribbean Radio HD over there in the US. And I'm also on Portland Spice TV. Somebody in the chat room saying that, what about the $86 million market me issue? We have not heard anything more about that, Senator Brown. Where has that gone? Has that swept under the rug?
Yes. And then you find out that I said in February, there's no CT scan machine at Bustamante Hospital for Children. And, this is the one children's hospital in the country now.
Yes.
There's no neurosurgeon microscope that is needed in some of the operations, so that the doctors can do their very best. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are short of essential equipment, but we're not short of money.
That is the concern now.
We're not short of money. So we could buy these things if we really care about the people of the country. If we care about poor people, right? That is why when they're giving away all these tax breaks, I said to them, what about the minimum wage worker who's still paying education tax?
Earning less than $20,000 a week.
$20,000 a year. No. The amount of tax is $20,000 a year.
Or them take from people. Oh.
Yeah, the minimum wage worker.
Yes.
And I'm saying, free up the minimum wage worker from the taxes. But no, they tax the poor people and then take the poor people money and give them friends with these lucrative contracts, these windfall where you buy the drill cheap and you sell it to government there.
Because I just do the calculation. If what Dr. Dawes is saying is right, somebody made a profit of $31.2 million.
Well, let's put this way.
Of the backs of poor people.
The drill really costs 27 plus million, but they give the person a contract to maintain the drill.
So there's another $4 million for the maintenance.
Yes, to make it 31.
But
question I ask, if you buy a brand new drill, doesn't the drill come with warranty?
Talk to me. So hold on. So the contract for the maintenance of the drill is not with the company that made the drill. It's with the company that purchased the drill.
No, the company who bring in the drill.
Tala. Hello.
The company who bring in the drill get an additional $4 million to maintain the drill.
So if it's the
first, anything happened to the drill.
Hold on. If it's the first and the only of its kind on the island, does this local company have the technical competence to service and maintain that drill?
Those are serious questions to be asked.
And if Dr. Dawes is right again by saying it is a refurbished drill, how do you get maintenance on it?
Well, if it's a refurbished drill, that explains why you don't know warranty on it.
Hallelujah!
And so you know how to get a maintenance. And you put in a $4 million, which at the price at which that drill come in, you could buy plenty drill with the $4 million.
Well, it's one thing I can tell you, Senator Brown, that the Minister of Health is coming to lick this out of the park clean.
Well, I don't know him going to lick it out of the park because him call it a mystery drill. According to him, him spin here and him spin there like him is a gig.
Yeah, but the man tell you coming from $2.5 billion to refurbish Cornwall Regional, now to 20 billion. The man tell you that you should be happy.
Well, let me put it this way. You know, some shaka, every day I carry a bucket all the way.
Oh, yes.
One day the bottom will report. I believe between myself and Dr. Dawes, we're going to see a dropping out of the bucket of the spin master. Because the question has to be asked, Who does the MP hold the shares in trust for? When this information came to me at first, it's a friend of a certain minister is also involved in the company,
Oh?
Right?
What a web.
It's a friend of a certain minister is also involved in the company.
Talk
I
to
don't
me.
know if any minister involved in it,
Talk to me.
but I want to know who are the trustee of the shares.
Yes. Who is he
Who,
holding?
not who are the trustees. In whose interest is a trustee acting? Who is holding the shares for?
Well, a lot of questions, Senator Brown. And we
And
need
we're not stopping until we get the Jamaican people
we
get
need the
answers.
answers. Our health sector is in tatters. And for people to
Chronic.
be
Our health
raping.
sector is in chronic. Chronic, I borrow Israel middle word. Our health sector is in chronic. And it's not because of a lack of money. It's a lack of how they use the money. It's a poor management, poor prioritizing of our money. It's not a money problem.
You remember the Auditor General said about $900 billion to the Ministry of Health. She have not gotten the reports and the necessary documentation she's supposed to for that money.
And I remember the Permanent Secretary saying, who the hell is the Auditor General?
Oh.
Essentially, to be asking him questions.
Senator Brown, you're a senior man to me. If I say to the people of Jamaica that this country needs a forensic audit, would I be correct?
You'll be absolutely correct. But you know one thing I'm happy for? Mark Colin has said, when the right time comes,
some are got charged for corruption. Hallelujah. No.
And I remember when Portia Simpson Miller said to Jack Smith, the Minister of Labour, put back the farm workers' money where your thief. Right?
Yes.
And him play games. And him and him Permanent Secretary end up at Tambourine Farm.
In a short pants.
In a short pants.
Yes.
So when I hear Mark Golin sing that was music to me ears.
Yes.
Him say, when the right time comes, someone got charged for corruption. And Jamaica is looking forward to the right time coming, which is going to be soon.
Within another 120 days maximum, I say.
Because the people have tuned out of this government. The people realize this government is a sham government.
Senator Brown.
It's a government that is prepared to scam them.
Senator Brown, you're a trade unionist. And we saw a man step in a nurse's head the other day.
Don't even mention that.
Very hard for me to talk about. I am very in fact, I went out yesterday and I stand with the nurses here in Port Antonio. I shouted with them because I believe that our nurses should be like what people call sacred cows. Like our teachers should be sacred. You shouldn't touch them. Whatever you're doing, you walk around them and leave them alone. But we saw in our parliament a man beat a woman with a stool and was allowed to just sit on the other side and go ahead. Do you think those kind of things, the kind of example...
He's back with them now. They embrace him. And the Minister of Health in a speech said, who are we to judge him?
But the question I am asking, when we see those kind of example and people are allowed to walk away in the sunset free, scotch-free and not now, do you think those kind of things give rise to this kind of behavior?
Well, it calls people to think differently and to act differently. And I'm going to say this now. I made a speech in Parliament about anybody raping my children. And the JLP took me on.
I remember.
And I tried to censor me. And I said, all right, maybe the Senate is not the right place to say it. And I said it again on Friday in the Senate, Not in the same way. I said to them on Friday, I embrace the nurse. and her
Yes.
family.
Yes.
Right? But I went beyond that. I said, I did say something in the Senate some time ago. Y'all took me on, but my views haven't changed.
And I concur with
I
you.
may not say it in the parliament, but my views haven't changed. Some of these people out there, them only have strength for woman.
Yeah, there was a time, Mr. Senator Brown,
Yeah.
when I used to say I now got prison. But I have 6 daughters, 6 of them. And I don't make that statement anymore, because if a man mess with one of my daughter, and like what you said back then in the Senate, is straight up my alley.
You tell law don't deal with it. I'm going.
Yes,
It's
man.
about family and there's a, and you know,
No,
all the
well,
hypocrites who took me on.
Hold on, Senator Brown. The Prime Minister says it best. If you don't meet a judge, you go and meet your maker.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll borrow that from the Prime Minister.
I want to make it clear that what was done to that nurse is despicable, and it deserved the full response of citizens and the state.
No,
it deserves a proportionate response.
Yeah, man.
Maybe somebody should be stepping in somebody else's head.
You imagine that man wasn't videoing, somebody did not video that? Maybe he would not get away with it scotch-free too.
You hear that the nurse beat him up?
Yes, or the nurse threw water upon him or spit upon him.
Exactly. But the video is there.
Yes.
And I hope the state will vigorously prosecute that and deal with it. But again, that's an issue that has to be dealt with firmly by the state. Another one is the corruption. And Shaka, the reason why I'm saying this is because the doctors are not being properly paid, the nurses are not being properly treated, and the patients of Jamaica are not getting the care that they deserve, and for what the doctors would like to give them and the nurses would like to give them, because there's a lack of equipment, because of a want of a ventilator. And I want to give Dr. Dawes a lot of credit.
Yes.
He raised the issue of ventilators recently.
And they
denied it.
They rubbished it. Yes,
Are
I
they
remember.
going to tell my friend and your friend that his grandchild, his only grandchild, died because of a lack of a ventilator?
Hey, the man was just planning to put a car seat in a theme car, you know, man. For the little man, you know, man.
I know.
I tell you. No, there's 2 more things I want to ask you about, Senator Brown, before I let you go. Jamaica, a country that has been respected around the world for many years. We see where we have a prime minister whose statutory filing has not been certified, going 4 years now. Coming up on an election. Senator Brown, may I ask you to take off your PNP cap a little bit? Put it down. Because I want you to be balanced on this. Do you think the prime minister, in all of the moral fortitude or in all ethics, should be on a ballot going into the general election with all that is hanging over this prime minister?
Let me answer it, and I'm going to use something called the wholeness standard. In fact, I'm going to relabel it the Andrew Wholeness Standard. A friend of mine named Richard Azan saw a problem up in Spalding, Clarendon, where the vendors were out in the sun and the dust, and it was not good for them.
Yes.
He facilitated the building of some shops to take them out of the sun, out of the dust, to put them in comfort to sell their wares. Andrew only said it was a dark day for Jamaica, and he would not sit in the parliament with Richard Azan unless Portia remove Azan. That's the Andrew only standard. And that is in response to the contractor general saying Richard Azan had not gotten permission to build those shops to do good.
Yes.
To do good. To do good for the vendors. Now the question arises, a real question, what is the Andrew only standard to a prime minister whose declaration have not been certified for 4 years, or at least 3 years consecutively?
Yes.
I would believe that the Andrew only standard, not PNP standard, the Andrew only standard is that such a person should not be sitting in the Parliament of Jamaica, much less to be running to be Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Somebody in the chat room saying the members of the People's National Party should not be sitting in the Parliament with the Prime Minister either.
Well, let's put it this way. 2 years ago, I was it last year, Mark Colin said certain things in the Parliament, and he took away himself, and Owens took away himself.
You walked
and
out.
Took away the rest of them.
Yes.
I believe the day is coming when that will happen again. So it is not the PNP who must stay out of Parliament. It is the JLP who must run out of the Parliament for their corrupt and unethical deeds.
The final thing I want to ask you about, the National Water Commission, the KSMC, came out earlier this year and said that based on reports from the National Water Commission, the drinking water in parts of St. Andrew was contaminated.
Yeah.
And doing what representatives of the people are supposed to do, Councillor Jesse James Clark, chairman of the Health and Sanitation Committee, came out and made it known to the public. The NWC, backed by the minister without portfolio, Matthew Samuda, they are saying...
And who's the minister? Who's the minister?
The Prime Minister.
The one without portfolio. Who's the minister in that ministry?
The Prime Minister is actually the Minister of Water.
Thank you.
And they are saying that they are not going back to the KSMC to give them any more water report. They were also criticizing RGR Communication Group for carrying a report that Duns River and White River does not meet the recreational standard. Are we seeing Jamaica heading towards a dictatorship where the government is also trying to control what the people hear coming out of the agencies?
Well, they're trying to. Let me put this way, Shaka. If you buy a pack of biscuits, even a pack of tough crackers, on the packets there's a label which says what make up the tough crackers, flour, water, baking soda, whatever. Anything you buy, there must be a label which says what make it up. That's the law.
Yes.
Water is life.
Yes.
And you're saying to me, I must know what is in my water. If some little brown things is in my water, that shouldn't be no water. I shouldn't be told that. Absolute wrong by the Water Commission. Absolute wrong. And it's part of cover up, it's part of lacking in transparency, it's part of disrespecting the population. And I'm saying to the minister, wrong move, minister, wrong move, prime minister. And I share Mark Colin's view when he says that's not good for government. But I think Mark needs to make it very clear that if they do not return to sending the reports to KSMC, then those who are disrespectful of the local government authority that hold a position under his government.
Talk to me.
So they should be told, do the right thing or give up your job.
Yes.
If you are not going to let the people of Jamaica know what is in their water, then you are not deserving of keeping that job. And that's my view. And that's how a strong leader ought to do. Not hide the report. Not hide the report. But tell the people the truth. If there's a problem with the water, say, we discover a problem with the water. We have locked down the system.
I will go and fix
for
it.
2 years. It's now, we'll check the water again. The water is good to go. But don't hide. Don't hide. That's what they're doing. And so, bad governance. And you know what they try to hide? That drill.
That drill.
They try to hide the cost of the drill.
That drill. Who made that $31 million, Lambert?
And I'm going to ask another question. The beneficial owners of the shares.
Yes.
So we have to ask, who owns the shares? I wonder if the minister have any shares. I wonder if the MP have any shares.
Tala.
Who own those shares? And who benefited? I will say this, Saka. Don't ask me to say more than it. I know one of the party to the company.
Oh, yes.
And I know that party is a good friend and gets on well with a certain minister of government.
Say no more.
More will be said in due course. Don't press me to
say no more, Senator Brown. Anything you want to add before you leave us?
No, just to say that, as I've said in the Senate over and over, people of Jamaica have tuned out of this government. Time come, they're waiting to vote them out. They're going to do to them what the Trinidad people do to the Raleigh government.
Blessings, Senator.
And people like you
yes,
have been doing a wonderful job of informing the people.
Thank you very much.
Come.
Time come.
And I believe the country, I know the country is better off. We've seen the backs of these imposters, pretenders, and indeed corrupt agents.
Senator Brown, God bless you, sir.
Bless you too, and bless your listeners. Bless the people of Portland and beyond.
Blessings. One love.
Good.
Senator Lambert Brown and trade unionists. It is 2 minutes to 5 o'clock in Jamaica. 2 minutes to 6 in the United States of America. We are ready to take your calls. 804-7072. 350-654-7944. What is happening in Jamaica? The press conference today, Dr. Alfred Dawes, Shadow Minister of Health, said his investigation took him to a place. A drill that they said costs 31,500. 31,500,000. Information coming out is that the drill only costs 1,600 US. Caller, good evening. Welcome to Caribbean
Shaka.
Radio. Yes.
What go on, my general?
Me there.
Boy, the more than look for come out and more them a thief. How them wicked, sir?
Then no grab them a grab for run, brother.
Grab them a grab for run, a store them a store up in a Shaka. Cause I know so when them come out this a time, you done Jamaica people done with them, you know.
1 minute to 11 o'clock in London. They got 18 years straight the last time. It's going to be 28 years this time.
30 me a put the Shaka.
Well,
Jamaica people, what them fail to understand, when they won the election in 2016, they won the election on the backs of some 25 or 20 to 35-year-old citizens of this country now. Anybody from 40 and upwards now vote for them, you know. Because we know what they went to back in the days. So we now go give them a chance. So the young people know who under 18 years of PNP, they want to see something different. So then give them a chance in a 2016. Then come again in a 2020 and then COVID up the thing because they know them strategic because they know say majority of the voters who vote for PNP now go take a risk and come out in a COVID. So then
Yes.
call election during the hike of COVID. But now when they call it, the people who vote for them 2016, now I realize, say, oh, no trick we. Oh, no trick we. Not already. You know how much young people here say they can't wait for election time to vote them out? Clarks and Clarks, Panfoot and Green Clarks, that now we're again. Right? In try with Radam, with Peanut Jet, that no stick. Right? And mash and Joel smash up Labour Party and I realize.
My brother,
Jamaica Labour Party done for Shaka.
it cannot
Nobody
be though.
all if they get Jesus to come lead the party, then can't have government again in Jamaica.
No,
Once in name Jamaica Labour Party, then done for.
It cannot be that you say you spent $31.5 million and information now coming out that you only spent 300,000 Jamaican.
But Shaka, out of the 31.5, then do you spend the 0.5 to buy the drill?
Then a 300,000
So
they spend.
31 $1 million gone in a somebody pocket.
Jesus
And
Christ.
the only way me can see Mark Golding as a leader with a change and a leader who put Jamaica first and as a leader who have Jamaica's interests and Jamaica's people at heart, him half a cent, couple of them go work house. That
Well-
he deserve to go work house.
Well, you heard Mark Golding did the song on stage. When the right time come,
Well-
some are going to
well, he's a
charge for
man.
corruption.
He's
Why
a
you
man
think?
where a camp is a man of the is a man of the campaign from principles. And why I say that?
Yes.
It is because I want you down a natural and with Dennis Meadows. The
Yes.
man with a campaign on principles. Right? And these are the principles that we need in governance in our country.
Yes.
No, let's hope, Mr. Mark Jefferson Golden, that this is not just a political campaign you put on for getting a power and when you go there. Because I am a PNP, Shaka, but I am a Jamaican first.
I
and
mean
foremost.
that, you know, brother. I mean that, you know.
And
I am
whatever
a
happens in this.
I have support the People's National Party because there are two parties in Jamaica that governs the country. Either the GLP or the PNP. And for a very long time, I have been convinced that the People's National Party is the best vehicle to move Jamaica forward.
But Shaka, them talk this and them talk that. They don't realize say every time the People's National Party is in power and lose state power to the Jamaica Labour Party, the country is like a plane taking off of the tarmac. And once they reach 10,000 feet, the Jamaica Labour Party take it over and the plane dip again, gone back in a problem.
Yeah,
That's
man.
the Jamaica Labour Party. They
Start
did it in
to free fall.
1980.
Yes.
When they have the country for 8 years in 1980, see, I got come in and get rid of parish public works department and start the road contract to friend them.
And
To fix
start
the road
and
cost
tear
them
down
that.
the parish council to remember under
There you
Edisiaga,
go.
you know. All the parish council
There
was
you go.
doing was dealing with markets and cemeteries.
There you go.
And that is
Right,
what
and
they are
and the
now
public-
they are now bringing down the parish councils again because NWA stopped go to parish council meeting, you know. And here's Water Commission now said that they must stop too.
But what I'm saying, Shaka, in the 80s, when you have the parish council, a part of the parish council was the public works department. And their responsibility was in every community.
No,
they have them
hello,
tracked and
hello, no, two different
Yo.
sector. Two
Was
different
two different sector?
Yes. Parish council was
Public works was
different
from the parish council?
totally different.
Well, me know said there was P, the public works department.
Right?
I thought it was part of the parish council.
No.
But I stand correct. I stand correct.
So let me
What
tell you
I'm
what it
saying
was.
is-
Hold on. The Public Works Department used to deal with central government issue. And the parish council used to deal with the parochial issue. So same like PWD used to have for them own a truck. Parish council used to have for them own a truck or fix for them on a road. Two separate entities.
Okay. But what they did when they come in the 80s, then get rid of PWD and now start getting contracts to their friend.
Yes.
So they if it fix 1 mile of road would have cost PWD $10,000. Labor come put it after they get rid of PWD, it will gone out to $30,000.
Yeah, but PWD used to always maintain the road. You'd always see them come around with them for them one truck and patch the road. You understand?
Exactly.
So the road wouldn't get into the deplorable condition that we are seeing Jamaican roads now.
Exactly. If there was still public works department, you would not have deterioration of the roads in Jamaica right now. Definitely. And that's what the Jamaica Labour Party come to the 80s and destroy, right? Then come again, and when they lose in 89, we have it for 18 years. I say PNP was perfect for 18 years, brother. I say nothing because we need PNP name and call it some bangarang in 18 years.
But listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. 1979, before the GLP won in 1980, Jamaica's debt to GDP was 60%. The GLP from 1980 to 1989 carried the debt to GDP to 263%. Yeah?
Under the great, under what Labour rights was the greatest finance minister the country has ever seen, Edward Seaga.
The PNP took it, and with FinSac and all them talk about, and the financial meltdown, 2007, the debt to GDP was 115%, down from 263%.
160%.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every time that the GLP came to power, they mess up the debt to GDP. This time is the only time that the debt to GDP has came down under GLP administration. Because even under Bruce Golding, when they got it at 115, they brought it up to 147%. Peter Phillips and Portia bring it down back to 113%.
Well, let me ask you a question, Chaka. I have a question I have to ask is,
yeah,
and probably you can answer me. Why is it that under the People's National Party administration, I've never seen the PNP gone to the IMF, right? Initiate a IMF deal under the People's National Party. But as soon as the Jamaican Labour Party comes into power, except for 2016, then gone to IMF.
No man, we initiate.
What the IMF money do?
No man, we have initiate IMF deal because in fact, between 2012 and 2000. And I tell you, man.
Yeah, because and we had no choice because them did mess it up from 2007.
Yes. So
they
we had
gone
to go
the
back.
IMF in 2007. Exactly.
So we had to go back
to fix that.
We had to go beg the IMF to give us a deal. Remember in 19...
As Ralston will say.
All right, sir. All right.
Mr. Ralston, I'm on interview with you. Listen to that.
Make we give somebody else a chance, though, yeah?
Bless you,
big up yourself. 804-7072, the Colin Bell Show. You can call me straight. You can call me on WhatsApp if you're overseas on the Caribbean radio line 305-654-7944. We're talking about Jamaica. We're talking about governance, the lack of transparency, the lack of accountability. Yeah? And a little man called me on my phone Sunday. Started off by telling me that I'm a PNP. But from the start of the discussion, I know he was lying. And he keep asking me a whole heap of question about the urban center. And I want somebody from St. Thomas to call me now and tell me if any store in the urban center is open. Or if anything in the urban center, if there's any business taking place in the urban center. Hey, boy.
Hey, Professor, how you doing?
You hear our money gone, boy?
Well, I want to tell you, you know, as Mark Golin so when the right time comes, somebody will go charge for corruption, you know. That's all I have to say. And
no, what can go so, Ed boy? I think Dr. Dawes better start line up in sackcloth and ashes. Because I saw him in a video saying that if the Minister of Health release the procurement documents and all of them something and him wrong, him willing to put on sackcloth and ashes and go to halfway tree go apologize.
No, but he's not wrong, because if you look at this statement that Wentworth Charles published, right, from
Yeah.
Sarah, they said that there were a couple of bids. One was for 12M and one was for 50M. So why would you not go with the lowest bid instead of going with the 31M? You see what I'm saying?
But Ed boy, 1,600 US? Dr. Daz must get that wrong, man. He must get that wrong.
No, because if you
1,600 US? And the man them take 30 million?
well, what worries me is not even, and let me say it. What worries me is the trustee issue, because Brown pointed it out quite well when he said that if you look at it, who is the trustee holding these shares for? Because he can't hold it for himself,
But he must talk. He must have to talk.
So who is he holding them for? Because
if him said that, Ed boy, him going have to talk, you don't think so?
Yeah, but the thing of it is that a company with mass ownership, I should say, and the ultimate UBO should not be engaged in government contracts.
Go again? I didn't hear that. Repeat that for
me. Right, a company that does not have a clear UBO, meaning a clear ultimate beneficial owner, should not be engaging in government contracts, because what that does, in the state of Sarah and the Ministry of Health in Jamaica, is that what that does is that it creates an environment where any bad actor can just come in, set a company, and just apply.
And use somebody to be a trustee and get any contract, anything.
So in its the very arrangement of this company spell danger. So the ministry should not have even proceeded with an engagement with them, because from just the procurement, the basic public procurement, you need to know who owns the company.
Yes. Yes.
So unless it is that this was because you know who owned the company and you decide you're going to run a food, but you never know if you're going to get catch. And we must give credit to Dr. Dart, his persistence on this matter.
Digging.
Because honestly, we now know if you want to eat a food, go to the Ministry of Health, because it seems like it's what it has become.
At the food place.
I eat a food, the food place. And you know what?
I asked Senator Brown about the market me situation. Christine, good evening. Sister Tanya. Babette, good evening. What happened to that situation? Has that disappeared?
It has not disappeared. And if you listen to Lamy, what Lamy was really saying, he was saying that really and truly the PNP need to press that man a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because in market me, the country was not given any value for money. A matter of fact, if you look at it, a lot of the PAHO and WHO funds were funneled through that market me into somebody's pocket. Because those were donor funds, Remember that it was not necessarily all of it from health. It was coming from not necessarily.
What a government corrupt, man?
No, but Colin, let me tell you, when people hear we talk, I want people to get this. I have asked for grind with Andrew opponents. I don't hate them. I have nothing against them. But it's just facts. Because when you look at it, how could you be playing around with a Ministry of Health when people are busy dying? When I hear about your friend with just a ventilator for the child and you don't have a simple thing as a ventilator?
Yo, the man them search the entire island for a ventilator. They were willing to fly the child to Montego Bay if one was available down there. No ventilator was available to save the life of a 2-year-old.
And I listened to the conversation that you had in West Portland that the candidate Doreen Campbell had with the town hall that Mr. Hilton spoke at. I realized really and truly these are some of the light manufacturing things that we could enter ourselves in. A simple thing as a ventilator could be manufactured and assembled in Jamaica.
Where there is no vision, brother, the people perish.
No, but similarly to the ideas that you have discussed about Portland. But teacher, I want to, as I go, raise a matter with you.
Talk
because I don't think a lot of you give me credit. Didn't I tell you that it will be Carl Samuda going back again in North Central?
Has that been decided?
There's no question. There's not be any runoff.
Yeah, man, there won't be any runoff. But listen, any party in this day and age run a 83-year-old candidate. What does that say? An 83-year-old candidate. And remember, Carl Samuda have a Mombasa. Hold on. Remember, Carl Samuda have a Mombasa grass problem, you know.
But you know.
You forget that? That there's a Mombasa grass problem when a salviate with Carl Samuda at 83 years old. Look here, Edward.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. No, I understand.
If there's one foolishness you come on this program, come talk, is that. That Carl Samuda at 83 years old with the Mambusa grass going run back, you're mad, man.
Sunday, did you see when Mombasa grass was ordering the people? Go home. Where you come here to protest for? Huh? Go home.
I never see that.
Okay, you should see the clips on TV when he was ordering them to go home. And that he don't want to.
No, Judge Davis did say PJ Patterson must put on him pajama and go in bed. And on him way mining kick over a chamber pot. I will say the same thing to Carl Samuda. Put on your pajama and go to your bed and hand your way mind you kick over your chamber. Run back where?
No, we must go tell him he need to go tend to him Mombasa.
But him can't attend to the Mombasa grass. Him cannot even attend to the Mombasa grass. What are you talking about? The GLP will not do that, Ed boy. The GLP is not in that dire strait. The GLP is not that lack of talent.
When they tried to mix Lisa Hanna, I will use the quote of our famous and goodly comrade Lisa Hanna, who said, "Why would I want to join a sinking ship?"
Exactly. Exactly.
Let me say this by saying the GLP is a sinking ship, and therefore anything that it does, that you can't predict what they're going to do.
No,
because they're sinking. When you look at in Central Florida, you know that Christopher Henry, which is Mike Henry's son, has applied for the seat as well. It's not settled. So don't let Horace Strong come with him nonsense. Both seats settled.
So no election now, call no Ed boy. Because they can't even settle slate.
All I'm saying, the Jamaican people, as I go, brother, must be prepared.
Hey, Ed boy, I have a question. Maybe you might know this. MP, a certain MP in Jamaica, went to Canada the other day, and it is an ambulance that took that MP off the plane at Pearson International. Is which MP go to Canada for medical treatment the other day? Ambulance took the MP off the aircraft at Pearson International Airport last month.
I wonder if you're referring to a female.
Tell her, and boy, you're bad like yours, or you're bad so. And boy, hey,
I have my source.
I am going to apologize to you now and tell you, say, if you say someone are gonna run boss, then you say someone are gonna run. Anything you say, boy, if boy, you didn't know that. You didn't know that.
Listen to the cues.
No, sir, I'm not talking to you because you never tell me.
No, listen to the cues. Listen to the cues. This is not entertainment or culture, okay?
No, another one there.
Another one there.
No.
So
closer to me, my brother. Closer to me.
Hey, Shakai.
It's an ambulance that took the member of parliament off a commercial flight at Pearson International Airport. What is happening?
Yeah. Oh well,
No, Miller, no.
This one is serious, Colin.
Samantha? Hello, Samantha. Yes.
All I want is may the heights of great men reach and get.
No, it's not so.
No?
It is the
So
height.
I give up.
The height by great men reach and kept. We're not attained by sudden flight, but by day. Hey boy, I want to thank the Prime Minister, because to get economic prosperity, you have to have good infrastructure.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Under the administration.
Under the Michael Anjo administration.
But as I go, brother, one thing I have to say, I'm seeing a wave in region 2. I've seen an orange wave in region 2, and I am not going to be surprised if there is going to be a clean sweep in region 2. I say it because you know that you're the one in West Portland.
I'll go and play a clip this evening for now. I'm going to give you something this evening. Because I hear a man in the parliament today saying that when him say him will do something, him will do it. And him no make idle talk. And I have a clip.
That's the biggest general man.
I have a clip from about 2017 or maybe before that. That me a hold for the right time. And when I heard the man in the parliament today, I said to myself, but me hear the argument there already. And I'm looking for a clip, head boy. And everybody, I want to hear this clip here. I never planned to play it today. But because of the discussion we've been having, head boy, I'm looking for the clip. Because I hear the man say, anything him talk, so it go.
Oh, no, man. That's a general man.
Eh?
He's known among his parliamentary colleagues as a general. Eh?
But I hear him say to the Speaker of the House, I know you will give me more time if you have conscience. You didn't hear that? You didn't hear that?
No.
Another man said to the Speaker of the House, if you have conscience. I said, but what can go so? What can go so?
But I'm telling you, you are looking at the carcass of a man who's just walking around. Yeah? Him not have faith in him. Him gone. Politically, he knows he has lost East Portland. He knows he lost East Portland, and he knows that in West Portland, Doreen is on his heels.
Me hear him saying prefer lose West Portland than East Portland.
All I'm henchmen. And I think uno forgetting it. Most of his henchmen are dead and I'm way to prison. Yeah? So who not dead, who wasn't unalive in Saint Mary actually. Who wasn't having wherever they were unalive.
Come on. I want to find this clip you have to play for today.
All of his henchmen have been removed. So right now I can tell you, he's running injured. He's running on one leg virtually in his campaign.
But how can they be talking about JUTC when they have defunded JUTC and wrecked that company? Eh?
I tell you, and every time we bring up this JUTC matter, Colin, I keep on telling them what they want to do is to run JUTC a wreck. Huh?
They want to wreck
so
it?
That they and their friends can then say, it should not have been there in the first place. Let us remove JUT. You see this push to go in the rural areas, first of all, can a JUTC bus drive from Port Antonio up to Bellevue in Portland? No.
No.
It can't go up there.
No.
Yeah, it can't go up there. So in this, I don't even think it can pass breastworks.
But
so
you know something those schoolboy, because they're behaving like we never have school bus service in Portland. Under Jigs Ennis and Donald Rod, we had two of the big wide Tata. Only a few of them was in Jamaica, and they were running a school bus. One used to come down from Hector's River in the morning, and one come up from Buff Bay. The one who used to come up from Buff Bay actually used to come to Shrewsbury. Yeah, a virgin named Soji, Paul, used to drive it. So we are not new to school bus, and that is why, like I tell Showerman, when you hear him talk about this whole school bus thing and the fact that, you find the clip, boy, and the fact that rural students need to get the same treatment like that the children into Kingston get. And my argument, me for years. And me for years, I call for school bus at Portland and said we as citizens are subsidizing the children in Kingston. We want the same thing for our children. Now, listeners and viewers.
You made the call publicly after, even when the Happy Grove incident occurred and you had to be marshalling the children.
All right.
In the dark. So,
Ed boy,
let me tell you what Daryl is. The man is a copycat. He has no idea of his own. Both him and his wife. Remember, if you were to talk about academic performance or anything in terms of ability, both of them are at the back of the class,
Ed boy, listen to this interview with Colin Bell and Darrell Vaz.
Not cause any danger of lives or properties by mining the rivers and then, of course, creating more problems than good. So it's something that we are looking at. When we speak about employment, I can also speak about Dragon Bay. Dragon Bay, I think, will be the biggest game changer for the parish of Portland for many decades. You're talking about $100 million worth of investment to refurbish and expand the existing Dragon Bay. You're talking about 6,800 jobs during construction, 500 permanent jobs, and you, pardon me? I am hoping that project will probably start the first quarter of 2018. The last update I got, they were far advanced with their plans, and they were hoping to submit the plans to the parish council in the last quarter of this year. It's a commitment that has been made. No other than the chairman of Sanders Resorts International, the Honorable Gordon Butch Stewart, has made that announcement himself and committed to that. And I know based on my relationship that it's going to happen. But just to let you know, and I want to let the listeners know, because you talk about jobs, and you talk about they're looking towards the opening of Sandals in Dragon Bay towards the end of 2019. As I said, it will be a 6-star boutique family resort. You're talking about 150 stores that will be sold out of that property a day. You're talking about training, food and beverage, IT, concierge, water sports, accounting, serving 2,500 meals per day. Can you imagine what that will do for this parish in terms of the farmers? Can you imagine what that will do in terms of the tours for the Juta, the JCAL, and the private taxi operators? You're talking about staffing, bus transfers. I mean, the business opportunities that will be formulated through that are vast. And you just said earlier, Minister, that Dragon will be a game changer, and there's no doubt about that. But there's rumor going around that Dragon is for sale. Shaka, when I sit here on this program and I speak from a position of knowledge. I don't listen to rum talk, and I don't listen to rumor. If I listen to rumor, I'd have run away long ago. So when I talk, you understand that I don't talk idly, and I don't put my mouth aground and talk. Anything you hear Darrell Bass say, yes, you can put your pot on fire, and if there's any change, I am the first person to come and say, I said X, and I know, understand that it's Y. Yes? Oh, you said you have a final question.
You hear that, Ed boy? Ed boy gone?
I hear him.
You hear-
No, man, I don't gonna
you-
hear him.
You heard the man. So when him talk, it's the same to me I'm saying at the parliament today. How me say about wait? Me not have that clip there. That is from 2017.
So what happened to Dragon Bay now?
Tell her.
Huh?
Tell her.
I can't tell you what happened to Dragon Bay.
Tell me.
I can't tell you what happened to Dragon Bay.
Tell me.
He and his close friends, yeah, have conspired to acquire Dragon Bay. That is what has happened to Dragon Bay. Yeah. And they deliberately don't want to put development down there because they don't want the niggas down there. Yeah?
Dragon Bay was the largest hotel in Portland. It was the only hotel that could really market the parish. And I asked him about Dragon Bay.
That's how we're around. At Draper side now going back into...
Closer to Fairhill.
Closer to Fairhill, right.
Yes.
Because I know it from coming Chanel.
In fact, just little after you pass the Blue Lagoon.
Right.
You hear what the man tell me, say? The man say when him talk. Listen to the man again. Listen to the man.
Minister, that Dragon will be a game changer. And there's no doubt about that. But there's rumor going around that Dragon is for sale. Shaka. When I sit here on this program, when I speak from a position of knowledge. I don't listen to rum talk and I don't listen to rumor. If I listen to rumor, I'd have run away long ago. So when I talk, you understand that I don't talk idly and I don't put my mouth aground and talk. Anything you hear Daryl Bar say, yes, you can put your pot on fire. And if there's any change, I am the first person to come and say, I said X, and I know, understand that it's Y. Yes? Oh, you said you have a final question.
Head boy.
Well, all I can say, lie them lie. Lie them lie.
Lie them lie. Because I'll not come back and tell we so nothing change.
No, man, but let me tell you, incoming MP, I said Buchanan and the incoming government, that Dragon Bay plus the Navy Island project and the harbour would be three mental gain projects in Portland that would contribute to a radical transformation of it.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Those projects must be in the first because you have the infrastructure at the end, Fleming, that could be Portland.
Yes.
You could maintain
and with the new road that bring Norman Manley pretty closer to us, said boy. I'll let you go. Have a good evening, sir. Blessings. Sam. Sambo.
Yes, Mr. Bell, Colin Bell. What's up?
I am here. Good evening. How you do?
I'm in Dallas, right?
Yes.
And I have a cousin work with one of the largest supplier of medical technology equipment.
Yes.
And I sent him Dr. Dawes' press conference.
Yes.
And I asked him, can you give me the price for those?
For the drill?
Surgical drill.
Yes.
Right? And then give me a various price. And the most expensive one, he tell me, is $5,000, and that bill in Germany. Right? And he said, that one that him talked about, it costs between $2,700 to $4,000.
But
and if it's a repair, if there's one that
refurbish,
repair, right? Because they say sometimes when the hospital are closed down, right, the manufacturer go back and take back those because they have a service deal with the hospital them, right? So they will go back and reservice them, right, and sell them back on the market at a good price because they are still good.
Yes.
And so that price that Dr. Dawes quote, those are in the reach. Some of them start from $900 US dollar to $2,000 US dollar.
Well, you know what happened, Sam? It sounds to me like Dr. Dawes got some information from the custom, because he's also telling you that the duty that was paid on the drill. And he also went further to say that custom have no record of a third drill.
But remember that Dr. Dawes was also in the field of learning to operate any new equipment come on the market between Israel, Germany, and those places, and India.
And remember now, Dr. Dawes is a medical doctor, so the people who are using these equipment are also his friends. Hey, tell her, tell her, tell her.
Right.
Tell her.
Right. So my cousin said that sounds like what is on the market in 2024.
Whoa. But this is wickedness, though. Wickedness.
Right.
You could even take $2 million, you take 31.2 for yourself.
And my cousin tells me sometimes.
Like up the live, people. Like it up.
Some Jamaican that some doctors who have them private office.
Yes.
Right. Each company that he work with, they buy a lot of second-hand equipment from them. But
and obviously there are other people here who have the drill, because it's two the company bring in.
Right.
Hold on, let me just welcome the people who are just joining us on Caribbean Radio HD. You're listening to the Colin Bell Show live, coming to you from Port Antonio, Jamaica, West Indies, from the studios of Portland Spice TV. Continue, Sam. Christopher Campbell.
Some of those best orthopedic drill made in Germany and India.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Right. So
somebody thieving 30 million while my friend grandson die, 2-year-old die because he couldn't get a ventilator.
You see, if you can remember Dr. Dawes' history, when Dr. Dawes was the chief medical doctor in PMP Power, Dr. Dawes usually go investigate and know what happened and come out on a press conference
and talk about it. And now we said, you realize some people have no sense, because I hear this man here, when the new senator name came out and mentioned it, that is to show you that Dr. Dawes not playing politics with people's life. If a PNP in power and it wrong, it's wrong. If a GLP in power and it wrong, it's wrong. And that is my stand.
Yeah, so this one of a history, right, of seeking justice in the medical field.
Yes.
Right, and so you can't kill him to say he might become a PMP. He might not be.
I want to hear Tufton on this. I am eager to hear Dr. Spin on this.
I not Tufton I want to hear from now.
How you want to hear from?
I want to hear from the people them that him send a letter to. Them you want to hear from.
No, but you're not going to hear from them now, because they are going to do their investigation.
Yeah, so but I need them to come out as early as possible, because I'll tell you something now. A longer JP typical election now is a mostly they're going to lose.
I think so too. I said that long time.
We can tell you something. People go and feed the PMP them with information.
No, because people are upset of the level of corruption that is going on and the level of deception. When we have a prime minister come tell we about you can't give water and you don't have to borrow no money because you run the economy so well. What you take people for? Jackass?
I tell you, man.
You take people for jackass?
Me tell you, man. Me can tell you. I was talking to the guy because I was telling about because when you part him about the Jamaican, the doctor then come down from America and want to give free service. And
yeah, man, we remember.
He can't believe when I hear it.
Yeah, man, we remember that when the doctors told us that the Bustamante Children's Hospital is not in a position for them to do the surgery that they came here to do, and the government have so much money. Let me say something to you, Sam, and to the listeners on Caribbean Radio. No other administration in the history of Jamaica has ever had the amount of money to spend that this present administration have to spend. None.
Yeah. Well, do you know? You remember in March of 2023, they signed an agreement with the Chinese them for two bauxite company, $6 billion US. You remember?
For two what?
Two bauxite company, Alpart and next one.
Yeah, that the Chinese they were gonna take them over.
Yeah, was $6 billion US.
I don't remember the figure, but I know that there was some agreement.
I'm telling you, it's $6 billion.
$6 billion US?
$6 billion US. Billion.
I don't remember the details of that, but I know there was something.
I can tell you. Well, I can tell you when that happened, two Congress people call up the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance. They want a clear information on that agreement they signed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they got a lot of money, right? They can benefit, and they don't use benefit the people. They use benefit their pocket. There's a lot of money they make out of the Chinese.
Well, I'd have to check that thing you tell me about. I remember that there's some...
Just Google.
Sam, Mr. May I've got to check it.
No, I went to the just Google the China Jamaican government deal on the backside.
All right.
Let's Google it.
All right.
And it come up. So
All
have
right,
a great day. That one.
All right, Sam. We'll give somebody else a chance. 804-7072. That's 876-804-7072. 305-654-7944. This is the Colin Bell Show on Caribbean Radio HD, Portland Spice TV at YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel. Check out my YouTube channel and subscribe to it. Click the notification bell. Caribbean Radio, we are on it every Tuesday and Wednesday from 5 to 7 drive time in the US, 4 to 6 in Jamaica, 10 to 12 in the UK. Yeah, man. Share it up. Tell people about it because this is where we come and we talk about Jamaica. We're not coming here to bring down Jamaica. We're coming here to speak the truth and nothing but the truth. So help us, God. Christopher Campbell, good evening, sir. Welcome to the program.
How are you, Colin? How you doing?
You know, say physically, me all right, but when we come to Jamaica, me not all right because it look like we have some vultures around this country, brother.
Boy, Colin, I'm sick to my stomach when I watch Doctor. I'm sick to my stomach when I watch Dr. Dawes.
Yeah, man, it's wicked and cruel, man.
It is sickening. And you know what, Colin? Dr. Dawes exposed the real hustle, you know. Every one of those ministries have a side hustle set up by a politician and them friend to carve off the Jamaican taxpayers' money. And what they do is they buy these cheaper things, refurbished things, they charge 100% markup on them. 100? And that is the real hustle.
100?
If
I did 100% markup, this wouldn't be bad. If it was 100%, it wouldn't be bad, brother. A couple 1,000% this, you know, man.
It is I want to use the right word, but you know, it is inhumane because at a time when institution like KP is struggling,
yeah,
you know,
Cornwall Regional can't done.
You understand?
The University of the West Indies Hospital bursting at its seam.
X5 mean that much to you, boss?
Jesus Christ.
How much more money you want? And when you drive downtown and you see the suffering, it move you as a Jamaican. I mean, how much more you want? You know? This government, since them coming, has been like hogs at the trough.
Gosh.
Just abusing the people of Jamaica.
Yes, man.
It is sickening to watch from afar. It is enraging, I tell you, to watch it happen.
And then you have some people that defend the man, I mean, Chris. You have some poor people that come out and defend them, man.
It's ignorance, man.
Jesus Christ, man. No, sir.
It's ignorant.
Father God, you know me not bleed your name in vain. No, sir.
But there is Dr. Dawes exposed the playbook today. Colin, I have known some of them, you know. I remember the big transportation center downtown, down a halfway tree. There was a guy living up here in Atlanta, and the man was running a little side business. He couldn't even run it. Next thing we know, the man was running the transportation center out halfway tree. And I tackled him one time about it.
Yeah.
And the man run me out time house. Open him door and said, must get out time house. And I say, you're like a hog at the trough. The man that was living in Jamaica, you know. That was the sickening thing. He wasn't even living in Jamaica. Them come and take him and bring him down there. And he was living in Miami at the time.
So him have him link.
Yes. This is what they do. And you have a lot of kids leaving school with qualifications that could, you could train for on them things. And yet they abuse the system.
Then that's why JUTC run down, man, because remember the man where they run JUTC never even have a high school diploma, in a man. Never even do high school.
Yeah. I've met a couple of them. And this is Colin. I am not impressed by them, you know. One guy come to my house and him tell me, say, I must come to Jamaica. All I have to do is build in a gated community. I said, I want to be amongst my people. Why would I want to go abuse the people them? On to thief the resources and then I don't want to hide behind on a high wall because I'm afraid to go up on the road. When I want to set up this, engineer the society to be like how it is.
Brother, this country needs a forensic audit. All of the man them we are rape the country need to be held accountable for the raping of this country. The man them said them could have grown the economy by 5% in 4 years. And maybe if them need a focus on thieving so much, they could have. The foundation was set for that.
But before I get off, Colin, remember I said the fish rotten from the head, you know. Who's the biggest looter and hustler in the whole thing? It's Andrew Wellness. Andrew Wellness have $400 million and 28 bank account. Him cannot tell us how him come to have all that money after 4 years. So if the head of the stream is corrupt, as Mark Golden said, the entire stream, river, will be corrupt.
I want to make a suggestion to Mark Golden and the PNP that within the first 100 days, you need to bring legislation to the parliament that no parliamentarian should be involved in any business, personal business, while being in the parliament. It have to stop. It have to stop somewhere.
I agree with you.
Yeah, man, it needs to stop somewhere. Them man are no conscience.
Conscience.
We talk again, brother.
All right, Colin.
One love. 876-804-7072. Welcome to Caribbean Radio HD.
What do you Mr. Bell?
Blessings.
Yeah, when time market you know. Every minute you must investigate. You know.
Yeah, man. We have to audit all these ministries and give the people a full report on what it is that we find.
Yeah, man. The people must know everything what was going on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Because you see the man them try hide this driller and try to ridicule Dr. Dawes. And one of the man says, shame on you, Dr. Dawes. You're playing politics. Brother?
All of them are shame now, man.
No one hear Tufton Pandis. Seriously, want to hear Dr. Chris Tufton Pandis. Anybody know Dr. Chris Tufton? Tell him call me. I want to hear him explanation about this.
Yeah, man, him become forward.
We want to hear the MP for Central Kingston, Donovan Williams.
Yeah,
we want to hear you. You need to come forward. We want to hear you upon this. It can't continue, so.
People
talk to me, Carla. May I listen to you?
Yeah, it's break up.
May I hear you clear, do you know?
All right, we need to take to the street, that peaceful demonstration. You know, enough is enough.
Yeah, man. Too much.
Enough is enough, man.
Too much is too much.
Yeah.
All right, my
and when
brother.
them lose, them not to win a seat.
We say everybody figure.
Everybody figure. Whenever if them lose, if PMP win 63 seats or the parliament run.
Yeah, man. One of them would have just go over our next side and say them are independent and turn opposition leader.
Okay.
Guess everybody would have want that position there. Because the opposition leader money big. If they cannot be satisfied with the money that they're making as a parliamentarian, leave it backside alone. Leave it alone.
These MP not performing and they need to cut them salary.
Yeah, man. This hustle and juggling while in the parliament. We see Dr. Dunn buy a building, buy the NCB building and not a bay, and rent it back to the government. We want to know if he had information that the government would want a building to rent. So him buy that building just for that reason. All them things they don't look good. No look good.
It's a shame, man. It's a disgrace.
Yeah, man.
We need moral decency to come back in the country. We need dignity.
Yeah, man. Ethics. Ethics. Morality.
Yeah.
My brother, big up yourself.
My respect.
Yeah, man. Megawatt. As a retired banker, in those days, we were not allowed to have any other business. Megawatt Volt. Why pay a commission of millions? We need a scientific audit. Somebody must be held accountable. Hey, General, no say not. Hold on there. You have to go deal with that for me. Tell him, just tell him what I want. Yes, my people. It's rough. It's rough out there. It's tough out there. Yeah? And the man them not treat Jamaica good. The man them angle Jamaica like. Me not even know. A banana republic. Everybody just a grab. A grab. Eh? Cannot be, brother. You go? Yeah. Thanks. It cannot be that we're treating our island home the way we are. A loot. A rape the country. No. Me calling on the members of the Jamaica Labour Party. Labour rights. We have no conscience there. Conscience. Caller, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Evening, Shaka Wagwan.
Me there, brother.
Why the Jamaica government worse than the scammer them?
Jesus Christ. Then not that way I say, man, if the top of the stream dirty, if you're showing the youth them this, if this is how you show the youth them, what you think the youth them are going to do? Yeah?
Yeah, man. It real bad. It's real bad. It's
terrible, man.
It's so terrible. So no improvement can go on in the country under them condition, Shaka.
You hear what Bob Marley say? Bless my eyes this morning. Just sun is on the rise again. Way, you hear what the man said, the way earthly things are going.
No.
Anything can happen.
Sure.
Eh?
Yeah, man, absolutely. And that's a go on. That's a go on right now. That's a go on right now.
You are tell me say you buy a drill for 1,600 US, pay 90,000 to clear it, and you take off $31.5 million off of the country?
The wickedest thing me ever see I go on to Jamaica in them time. And never yet in the history of Jamaica me say this kind of thing happen, Shaka.
This investigation must take place fast.
Yeah, man.
Fast.
Somebody need to be held accountable for this, Shaka.
No, man, we don't need to wait upon this. The police need to go in now, confiscate all documents. Yeah, man, because if Dr. Dawes is right about this, is right about this, Bangle must go on fast.
Yeah, Ed for rolls, man. Ed for roll.
Look here.
Roll for these
and
things.
I want 3 million the man and take off of the country, you know. You buy something for $300,000. Jesus.
Exactly. You know how much other equipment that 30 million or whatever them take coulda how much things it could have to buy other equipment for the hospital.
The ventilator with a 2-year-old need, I don't think it costs 150,000.
Yeah.
And the few were up on the island was being used. Yeah?
Yes.
Talk to me.
No, Shaka, trust me, Jamaica people need to rise up. I tell you, Jamaica people need to rise up and get rid of these people. Get rid of these people. Because they come up every day with them PR and as if say they might do something in the country to benefit the country and the people. And they are doing nothing to benefit the country and the people.
Man, them just a fool them on a pocket rasta. Man, them just a fool them a feather them nest.
One question me have, Shaka.
Yeah.
The urban center will open up a Marant Bay what day.
Yeah.
Right? What form of employment it offer to the people of Marant Bay and St. Thomas and a whole?
People get work in a store and they could work in a shop here, so there and there. So I know not more than. Let me tell you something. This government is investing in consumption, not production.
Yeah.
And that will not take us anywhere.
Absolutely.
And that's why I'm saying to them, not bring no urban center come a Port Antonio. Come to the East Harbour.
No, you want something where people can get meaningful employment, Shaka, working in a store or whatever.
No, so hold on. You said the urban center is open?
People.
Did you say the urban center is open? Can't now open yet, you know?
I saw that. Well, I don't know. I see the Prime Minister say, go cut ribbon the other day.
Yeah, them said them have a ribbon cutting ceremony. So you not really open yet. It's a ribbon cutting ceremony.
Yeah, but how much people can be does the urban center employ?
Well, if make it, I guess it employ a good amount of people to do the construction.
No, I'm not talking about make it. I'm not talking about the construction of it. I'm talking about when it's open and the operation, what its service it offer and all that. Because to be a spot when me
hold
understand,
on the caller, hold on for me. Caller.
I'm government offices.
Hold on for me. Let me just say thanks to all the people on Caribbean Radio HD for tuning in this evening. Please remember to join me tomorrow evening, same time, same place for the Colin Bell Show, live on Caribbean Radio HD, where we discuss current events happening in Jamaica. We discuss politics, religion, sports, sex, you name it, on the Colin Bell Show. Do remember to join us. And for those of you, check out my YouTube channel, Portland Spice TV at YouTube. Please subscribe, like, and share the channel. Click the notification bell. That's when we are on. You're on. Thanks to Caribbean Radio. All the people over here, dear Sister Tanya, Babette, Brother Lee Croft, big up on yourself. Servant David, Bro Gary, big up yourself. One Love Caribbean Radio. Until we meet tomorrow evening. Yes, caller.
Yes, Colin. No, what may I say? How many people? I'm not talking about the construction of the center. I'm talking about like when it's open and it's the services and whatever it's gonna offer. How many people will be employed from
I couldn't tell you how many.
St. Thomas in general.
I couldn't tell you how many, but the jobs are going to be jobs like working in KFC, working in a store. Some of the what will also happen is that some of the jobs that are already in St. Thomas will be moving from uptown to downtown. The parish council will be going in.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. That some of the government building and stuff. Like some of the government services. That's where they will be now.
Not some of them. They're putting all the government services in there.
No new employment. Not new. No formal new employment now create for young people get jobs and all these things and a meaningful job. Shaka, just working in a KFC for what?
Minimum wage.
15,000 a week.
Minimum wage. That's what it is.
Minimum wage. It's a joke.
Yeah,
it's a joke. And them I say that's not development.
All right.
That's not development. You have to develop something where people cannot earn substantially.
Well, that's what I am talking about. And that's why I say to them, in Port Antonio, which is my town, the urban center can come. Respect.
Portland man too. So I mean, what we are saying, and we talk about this every day, and them talk about Vaz. How many years now Vaz are MP at Portland?
18 years,
right?
brother. 18 years.
Me not say
Nothing.
And I don't see nothing that they have done or created any form of employment opportunity for the young people of Portland.
All right.
None. People can leave Portland to go elsewhere to go find jobs.
Yeah, I'll give somebody else a chance though. Here?
Yeah, man. All right.
Thanks,
Bless up. Go and listen.
Thanks for the call. Yeah, man. Marshy. Marsh.
Yes, Colin.
Just
on the point that you're on the car that just talked about a while ago.
Yeah.
What am I going to produce? What am I going to produce over there? Where they're going to cut the river and the American Bay? What am I going to produce over there?
Yeah, you hear me just say? This government invests in consumption, not production.
Yeah. Not production, they not produce anything over there. And the man right, they say minimum wage thing over there. But how much people in St. Thomas I get when I shop for rent?
Well, I tell you something. What my information tells me is that no businessman from St. Thomas not get no shop for rent. I don't know if you hear the Prime Minister. I don't know if you hear I think it was the Minister of Local Government said they want to do some more building behind for smaller business. That is what the St. Thomas people, that is what they are going to be offering to the St. Thomas people.
You know, let them steal. Because then take the people for Papa Show. But let me say something to you. I heard Peter Phillips, and I would describe it as his farewell speech in Parliament today. And there's a part of it where him big up Edward Seaga. Because, let me tell you something. Me big up Edward Seaga, you know.
Yeah?
Because
me big him up too.
You see what going in Jamaica now under Andrew Wellness?
Yeah.
It would never happen under the leadership of Edward Seaga.
Can I tell you why I big up Eddie? From 1983 to 1989. Edward Seaga Edward Seaga had all 60 seats. That time it was 60 seats in the house.
That time it was 60.
And he could have done almost anything that he wanted to do. I am saying to the people of Jamaica, anyhow, it was this administration at that opportunity, Jamaica would be a dictatorial government would have.
Yes, man.
So I big up Eddie Seaga based on
not
that
my favorite
fact
person, you know.
that he was
not my favorite person.
But the truth is the truth. The truth is the truth.
Is the truth.
Yes. And when I see
one ranking man in a parliament, you remember who did shut him up in a parliament?
No, who that?
You know, remember the tasty Warmington where Edward Seaga shut him up?
Warmington didn't have
parliament.
Warmington didn't know Seaga?
Yes, man.
But not
him did a rank up himself and Seaga making himself to keep your damn self quiet, man, and shut him up.
But that was not in the 80s, though.
Warmington did
That was not in the 80s.
Well on.
Warmington was in the parliament in the 80s.
Let me something. Let me tell you this then if you know. Well, check somebody like a Lambert Brown. Indeed, in the man. Remember, say, him and Bruce Golden, the guy with that Anky Panky, you know, man, and there's something that Edward Seaga shut up everyone, Warmington.
You don't remember.
All right. You get somebody else to call and tell you. Somebody else to call and tell you. He shut up Warmington. And that's how Warmington did have to keep himself quiet and then wheel and come again. Then couldn't go on now? Could never go on under Edward Seaga. Never. Never. And you see.
May I listen to you, man?
Yeah, you see the stool, man?
Yeah.
You see the stool, man? We beat up the woman. May I tell you something? A certain gentleman.
All right, so hold on. Hold on. Everard Warmington, born 1952, is a Jamaican politician with the Jamaica Labour Party. He has represented St. Catherine Southwestern constituency in the parliament since 2002. So he wasn't there in the 80s.
Well then, I stand corrected. But I know some shutting up business going under Edward Seaga. And never check back that again. But
well,
but all right. Make I go. Make I go on to this.
Yeah.
Make I go on to this. Thing there. When you see I call them taking back the stool, man.
Yeah.
And then I go contest a seat at Westmoreland.
Yeah.
One certain man did to run for a seat in Manchester. And it was alleged that him abused his wife and pushed him to say, no,
I didn't
you're not run for the seat.
How would that? May I hear the argument from man? And how would that man?
All right, let me just say VP.
Okay, all right. Got you. But Marsh.
Me no matter what I call the man.
No, man, got you, man. Me get it. But Marsh.
You get it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
When you have a man in the parliament who beat a woman with a stool and get away with it, you don't think that give the man will step on the nurse more strength?
Then I must man the parliamentarian and do it, man.
Have we dealt with that man in the parliament decisively to the full length of the law?
You know, one lady say yesterday, if them did deal with that in a parliament, if them use them as an example where the man do it, they couldn't do it.
I don't
know
think
you feel
so.
bad to know say and the man and namesake, you know, now generation.
Jesus Christ. All Bella generation. Me tell people that every day. But Jesus, man, no.
Me know one bell where I know the generation do you know.
How which bell that?
A GLP bell where them a ring.
No, that no, we no ring over there.
I will take bad something make laugh
Why,
sometimes.
Marshy?
But let me tell you something. You know.
Yeah.
This thing are really, really bad, you know. The drill thing are bad, you know.
Yeah, man. The drill thing are terrible.
This coming like when you play Monopoly and it said do not collect, do not pass, go
straight to
directly
jail. Yes, sir.
Somebody did figure in a jail.
Little more, Marshy.
Somebody did figure in a jail.
Yeah,
This
man.
too bad.
All right, cool.
Too bad.
876-804-7072.
Yes,
people,
Colin.
hold on. People. May have over 800 people that watch me. Just touch up the thumbs up and give me a like, no man. Me know so don't like the program. It no cost nothing for touch the thumbs up and like up the program. Please and thanks. Share up the channel. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, Colin. Him did it in a 80s, man, when...
No, sir.
When,
you know, hear me say? A digital age this, you know. I find the man.
Colin.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, no, man. I'm a coach, I'm counselor, talking one-time counselor, no, man. Him did it, man.
So
and who's going to mash up in farmer and run away and give bread I eat. And then go out foreign and come back.
Oh, so how much term him did do that time?
Him then do out in full term.
Which constituency him did have?
Southwest.
Well, this is saying he represented Southwestern constituency in the Parliament of Jamaica since 2002.
In the 80s, man.
And then go and come back.
Yes, the time Jennifer Edwards around the place, man.
Oh, because Jennifer was a member of Parliament too?
Yes, Jennifer Edwards, yes.
I know
I
know she was a mayor.
She was the MP to Southwest St. Catherine.
Oh. Okay.
So Bruce go in and run him way. And mash up in farm and go and foreign and come back.
Mash up full farm, Everard Warmington farm?
Yes.
So
and then run him away.
He man never bad man that time.
He no bad man, no time at all. He no bad man. He just love chat.
All right, my brother. All right.
As women that tell you say no Colin.
So Kojak.
They work for the man up for the constituency.
Yes.
And there was no organization there. You have to put the organization in place.
Yes, man. You mean over here in East Portland?
Yes.
Yeah, man. We are work on that. That has been worked on.
Work for Damien and me tell the organization was poor.
Yeah, we are work on it though. We're working on it.
All right, bless up yourself.
All right, my brother. One love.
All right. Cool.
876-804-7072. What can go so? Can you really say you love Jamaica and take this amount of money? Williams call for apology. What is this? Hold on there. Somebody send me a Williams call for apology from Dawes after defamatory allegation. Hold on there. Go see what go on here so now. Kingston, Jamaica, Member of Parliament Donovan Williams is firing back at opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, after what he describes as defamatory and misleading allegation regarding the $31 million purchase of a single Neo drill. During a media conference on Tuesday, Dr. Dawes again called attention to the controversial purchase of a medical drill for the Bustamante Hospital for Children, this time implicating Williams. Dawes in the past alleged that a medical drill was purchased above market value. Dawes appeared to have extended himself beyond his area of expertise, and is doing so has made false statement and innuendos concern me. I wish to make it very clear that I know nothing about the report purchase of the drill or any negotiation or discussion involving this purchase. In fact, I first became aware of the transaction when it was reported in the news. To be clear, Dawes' suggestion that I may have derived any benefit from the purchase, which he framed as improper, is false, mischievous, and defamatory. Williams said on Tuesday, we are in for very interesting discussion. When I listened to the press conference, I never hear Dawes say him get anything from it, but Dawes say him have shares in the company. And I should have read down a little more to see if him say him not have no shares in the company. Indicating the possibility of legal action, the MP sought to clarify his connection to the company in question. A research of the company office records will show that my name is reflected as one of the shareholders in the company referenced. However, I do not know, nor have I ever owned a beneficial interest in the company. In the other words, I am not entitled nor have shares in the profit of this company. My name being listed as a shareholder in this company merely reflects. Sure, man, you couldn't allow me if you just read this something. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Yo, Colin, even.
Yeah, man.
I was listening earlier on about the Everett Warmington service, the time he served.
Yeah.
And I found some info. He served between 80 to 83.
Oh, okay, 80 to 83.
I screenshot the info.
Yeah.
I sent it to you on WhatsApp.
Okay,
so
thank you.
At your convenience, you can take a look at it.
Okay,
right?
and then him come back 2002.
Yes, I'm going to give him 2003.
Wikipedia just tell me about the 2002.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, there's more, man. I screenshot it and send it
to
you.
Yeah, man. Not a
WhatsApp.
problem. Thanks much, my brother.
Yeah, man. When you get a chance, you can look it up.
Big up yourself.
Right, cool.
8047072. Good evening.
Yes, Colin. I'm calling from West Palm Beach over here in Florida.
Yeah, man. Welcome.
Just want to reach out to you and say I'm proud of you, the work you're doing, my brother.
Thanks much.
And all of you guys. Because it wasn't for people like you and the other bloggers who are informed Jamaican
But you know that I am not a blogger, though.
No, you're not a blogger. But
Okay,
I'm just giving respect to everybody who's trying to transform the country and giving information, because we have a lack of information because of what the Jamaican media do in the country at this service, and the Jamaican media is a trait and a betrayal for the country.
Yes.
So without people like you and the other people who are we're giving out information and enlightening the people and the corruption and the mishandling at the country's purse.
Yes.
The country would be in a different stratosphere.
True.
than it is right now. We think it's bad now. It would have been much worse.
Yes.
So I want to just give my respect to you on the other.
Thank you very much.
What I call you for is that I heard you reading about that rebuttal by that JP operative.
Yes.
In regards to Dr. Dawes.
Yes.
One thing I noticed with the JLP members, they always come out and try to rebut things, but they never give you any. They never come with any credible evidence or facts to back up what they're saying. They only say, "I don't know," or "I'm not there." But they've never ever come out and said, "Listen, these are the facts. This is what happened, and this is how it happened." They have never ever given people any facts on anything. They only come out and say they don't know or they didn't see.
Well,
and those statements are asinine and stupid. One of the things that they think Jamaican people are a bunch of idiots, and the Jamaican people got to wake up. They've got to wake up. They have no regard and no respect for the people of the country.
Well, you see this one, brother.
Hold
on. You see this one. We want the FID. To dig in it right now. Right now, not waiting. Go ahead with the other point.
Yes. One thing, one of the points that I want you to address, and I want to hear I've not heard you speak on, is the recent UN condemnation of Andrew Holness and his government for the treatment and the abuse of the Maroon people and the fleecing of the rights to their land by Andrew and his minions to try and benefit their own self. We have not heard enough conversation on that, and the rebuke of the United Nations of Andrew Holness and his government was very, 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 very detailed and outlined, and that is something very serious because it translates to how they relate to the people across the country.
Well, I tell you something,
and it also gives an insight on their corruption.
I tell you something. I have not read that article, so if you have the article, just forward it to this number. I will read it, and tomorrow I will give my views on it. Thank you.
It's a scathing rebuke of the treatment that they're giving to our Jamaican Maroon people.
Yeah.
Never in the history of our country has the government and the Maroon people been in conflict over their land. Never in the history of our country.
Well, we know him now have no respect for the Maroons, so it wouldn't be surprising. But I'd love to read the article, so please send it on.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I'll forward it to you. But it's something that we all need to look at and read.
Yes,
man. It's a scathing rebuke of Andrew Holness and his government.
Yeah, man. I'd love to read that.
Very much so, man. I'll forward it. I'll forward it to you.
Thanks much, my brother.
Another thing that I want, that I would like to speak on, is the downright disrespect for the rule of law. And Jamaica people need to recognize this. In every constitutional challenge that the PNP has put against Andrew Holness, they have lost. They have lost in every single constitutional challenge that they have faced. And this shows that blatant disrespect for the rule of law, the Constitution, and the people of the country. Because it's every time you go to court over constitutional infringement by you and you lose to the court, and you do not stop that behavior, what does it tell you about the government?
No, but it tells you that the government, or it tells you that the Prime Minister is not a man of his word. Because remember, when you are sworn in Jamaica, or you are doing the affirmation, you either swear or affirm to uphold and defend the Constitution.
Yes.
So when you become a serial breacher of the Constitution, time come.
And this is clear dictatorial behavior.
Dictatorial traits. You know, I am telling you.
It is one of the main traits of a dictator.
You know, from the first time I start look on this man, when him tell the people, him say, listen, don't follow mainstream media. Come to my social media page for credible information. I said, there you go. That is dangerous. You only want the people to know what you want to teach them.
Listen, it's about time, you know, that we start to do the right thing. The man is baby Trump. Stop calling him Andrew, call him baby Trump.
You hear Bob Marley say?
Every single behavior, the man is a copy of Donald Trump in Jamaica.
You want me to tell you what Bob Marley say about him?
He's operating from the Trump playbook. He's idolizing Trump in his behavior. He's the spitting image of Trump in his behavior in regards to the Jamaica politics and people.
You hear what Bob Marley say about him and him friend them? They're sailing on their ego trip. Blast off on their spaceship. No care for you, no care for me. Dangerous time, brother. Thank you.
It's absolutely dangerous. And brother, our people has got to wake up. And let me tell you, Mark Golan cannot be passive or take this for granted. Because one thing I know is that a wounded animal is a dangerous animal.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
A wounded animal, and I keep telling people this, Mark Golan must seek international intervention to come and observe the general election.
Yeah, man.
He cannot sit back and put things in these people's hands.
True.
Because every office is in his office.
Yes.
And I'm surprised Mark has not challenged this in the court. Why are they waiting so long to challenge this in the court? The electoral office must come out to Andrew office. It's a conflict of interest.
All right, my brother. We talk again.
All right, man. Take it easy and talk again.
Send me the article.
Yes.
Bless up. 876-804-7072. 21 minutes after 6 o'clock Jamaica time. I really want to look back on this piece of article here. I really want to look back on this article here. I want to go back to which part him say. What him say? In fact, the first time I became aware of the transaction was when it was reported in the news. To be clear, Dawes' suggestion that I may have derived any benefit from the purchase, which he framed as improper, is false, mischievous, and defamatory, Williams said on Tuesday. Indicating the possibility of legal action, the MP sought to clarify his connection with the company in question. A search of company office record will show that my name is reflected as one of the shareholders. Now, Dawes said the man hold 40,000 shares out of 150,000 shares have been allocated. He own 40 out of it. Hold on there. Let me take it back. Lord, I messed it up. Sorry about that. Right. So him say him name show up on the company. However, I do not know nor have ever owned a beneficial interest in the company. In other words, I am not entitled to or have I shared in the profits of this company. But your name in the company. My name has been listed as a shareholder in this company merely reflects that I was designated as a trustee in my capacity as an attorney at law. Oh. The assertion by Dawes that I own the company is reckless and misleading, Williams said. There's more. Williams doubled down on his statement, indicating that after the incorporation of the company in 2007, he was retained as a trustee in 2009, and following a legal dispute, it was made clear and accepted by all that I had no beneficial interest in the said shares, or never did, and for the avoidance of doubt, at no time have I ever ascertained such an interest. Williams insists that this was a matter of verbal record. And had been declared to the appropriate authorities. He added that the matter was resolved in 2022, indicating that his attorneys have since prepared the necessary document to facilitate the share being passed to the beneficial owner. One who that owner is. Removing my name as a shareholder of this company from the company's office is therefore now just a matter of formality, he explained. But you're in there. Williams continued. Dawes is quite mistaken, and he was reckless to have taken the time to prepare and call a media conference without having first reached out to me for comment and clarification. The question he posed to me is the media at the media conference or in the media conference. I could have addressed it in simple telephone call. Williams called on Dawes to do the honorable thing and issue an apology, maintaining that he would welcome any investigation as they would further vindicate his position and reputation. Mystically. Caller, good evening.
Yes, good evening. How are you?
I am fine, thank you, my dear.
Oh boy, I don't know where to start, you see, but wow.
Well,
this is how PNP is. This is how the People's National Party is going to sit and just watch all these allegations and these things happen before their very eyes and not do something very strategically and seriously about it.
Well, you can't blame Dr. Dawes for putting it in the public sphere.
I'm extremely happy that he did, but I'm not talking about this situation only. There are too many things that are going unnoticed. When Andrew Wallen said he would not sit in Parliament, Mr. Bell, with a Richard Azan.
Yes.
Which is nothing mild. Richard Azan didn't steal anything.
Not at all.
What he was doing is helping poor people.
Yes.
And he might have blundered in the way he did it.
Yes.
But why are we sitting down and allowing? Why is the PMP still sitting in Parliament with this bunch of thieves and criminals? Because that's what they are.
Well, time come. And like Lambert Brown said earlier, every day bucket a go well, one day the bottom will drop out.
Which is very true, but guess what? Me really hope this time come for you,
Yes,
because
sir.
we can't stomach one more year of those nasty people.
No, sir. Time come. All right, caller.
Let's hope that people are working on the ground and listen to me. The last thing before I go is that I know that Andrew Holness, he say my chess player. I don't know whether he's a chess. I don't know what he is, but I'm going to reserve the other adjectives.
No, but I can tell you one thing. Hold on. I can
Yes.
tell you one thing. Most Jamaicans play draft. He might be a chess player, and with them claims that chess is a bigger game. But what he's telling us that him different from we, because most of we a draft we play.
And I think what he's telling us when he says a chess player is a trickster.
Yeah,
that's what he's telling us.
Yeah,
and
him tell we say him play a bigger game than we, bigger tricks than we, our tricks are small trick.
Bigger
And that
than
him tell we say him are the top general trick, him are the technologist.
Absolutely.
Him are the technologist.
So that's a euphemism for thief. That's what he's doing. He's just mild, making it mild, but he's telling us that he is a very dishonest person,
yes,
that he knows how to scheme, and that he knows how to fool the Jamaican people.
Well,
and I am calling on the Jamaican people wherever they are in the world to wise up and stop being stupid. The days of being stupid are over. It is before our very eyes, very plain.
Yeah.
And Andrew Holness it just needs to go.
Well,
the man sick my stomach at the time I hear him talking, sick my stomach these days.
Bob say you can fool some people sometime. All right, call up. One love.
Yeah, man. Just bless up yourself. Take care.
The late King say you can fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time. I want to thank all my viewers and listeners and subscribers. If you have not yet subscribed to Portland Spice, subscribe, share the channel, click the notification bell. I want to thank Senator Lambert Brown for being with us this evening. Thank all the callers. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. Until we meet again tomorrow evening. One love, my people. Blessings. Peak.